Hello friends, I am back with one more video in my channel. If you want to romance with nature in Delhi, there is no other place other than Lodhi Garden to enjoy in the ambience of the medieval monuments surrounding the area. I decided to make a video of this famous garden with clips from both evening and morning time. To capture the evening moments, on the very first day, I took metro to reach Khan Market metro station. The north side gate of Lodhi Garden, merely at a walking distance of 1 kilometer from Khan Market station. Established in 1951, this is a shopping arcade in central Delhi, named in the honor of Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan. In 2019, this market was rated as world's 20th most expensive commercial street. Lodhi Garden is also at a easy walking distance from India Gate, the central place of Delhi. Before arrival of harsh summer, in the spring season, during the month of March, Delhi enjoys the best weather. It is neither warm nor cold. I have reached the nearest northern side gate of this 90-acre beautiful park. In modern days, very few takers for Mahatma Gandhi's inscription written in this roadside memorial. For long, Lodhi Garden is the favorite picnic and hang around spot for delights. It is a much loved place for morning and evening walkers and joggers, for elite gentry of nearby posh localities. I have entered Lodhi Garden. This is evening time in Lodhi Garden. Even though most of the monuments in this park were built during Sultanate period, this arched bridge with 8 piers, the supporting structures, was built by Nawab Bahadur, a nobleman in the court of Akbar. It was built over a tributary of Jamuna. On the small pool of water on both sides of the Atpula, there are fountains giving a nice visual treat and gives a cooling effect during the summer time. I saw evening crowd in holiday mood walking over the bridge and taking photographs in the twilight. After hearing some sound, I got attracted towards a small enclosure nearby the water pool. Walk of ducks in the evening time seems that they are searching each other for partners. The well illuminated monument at a distance is Sikandar Lodhi's tomb. At one point of time, it was a scatter of tombs and mosques in a village called Khairpur. In the 1930s, the villagers were moved out and monuments taken under government protection. Then the viceroy, Lady Wellington, who was somewhat batty and wanted her name to go down in posterity, had the scattered monuments enclosed within walls and an entrance gate erected on the north side, bearing the inscription Lady Wellington Park. She also had a cinder track laid out for the sahibs and their maims to ride on. All that is history. No one now calls it Lady Wellington Park. The cinder track has become cobbled stone footpath, and the park is known as Lodhi Garden because most of its monuments were built during the rule of the Lodhi dynasty. This is the central lawn of Lodhi Garden. Lodhi Garden is well illuminated in the evening. Behind me is Bada Gambuj. Now I am walking towards southwest side of the park through a walkway flanked by rows of trees on both sides. Among those I could spot bamboo tree, a rare variety in this part of India. I came across this small arched bridge below which another walkway conspicuous by its white light. After a stretch of around 100 meters, suddenly the walkway came close to a row of tall palm trees on one side, and on the other side a beautiful monument in a well spread out lawn. It appears to be an octagonal shaped monument. It is 8 p.m. now. I have to go back home. With one changeover in metro, it will take more than an hour to reach home. In my front, you can see one more remarkable monument of Delhi named as Safdarjung Tomb. The place where I am standing is the T junction of Lodi Road and Arvindo Marg, which is in front of me. Even with so many trees around, Delhi here has the tag mark of one of the most polluted capital in the world. Going back home from Jorbag metro station. Good morning, friends. Time is 6:30 a.m. now. The sky seems to be cloudy. From my Noida home, Lodi Garden is 22 kilometers. Driving at a much lower speed than usual, as I heard Delhi police, with the help of recently installed CCTV cameras, in a spree of issuing challans of 2000 rupees for crossing speed limit, which is 50 km per hour in most of the city roads. Hello, good morning. I am stuck up inside my car. But as God's wish, it is raining. So I have no other way but to wait inside my car. It is very unusual to rain in this season, in this time of the season. Sitting inside the car, I saw youngsters performing rain dance. Perfect ambience. Gate number 3 of Lodi Garden. This west side entry gate is near India International Center in a bylane from the main road Maxmuller Marg. A 15-20 minutes light drizzle has brought down the temperature to around 20 degree and made the ground wet. There are fallen leaves from the trees in the walkway throughout the garden. After the shower and the mild breeze, close to gate number 3 is Bada Gumbaj. The lone small tower on my left is known as Round Tower. This is perhaps the oldest building in the garden. The battered walls, heavy projecting opening, and fluted dome suggests construction probably from Firoz Shah's reign. It was probably the corner turret of an enclosure that no longer exists. The ground looks more greener and the flower petals are more rejuvenating after the light shower. Now I am in the central lawn of Lodi Garden where the two monuments are situated. Behind me is Bada Gamboj. This is the most ornated, conspicuously best monument preserved inside the Lodi Garden. One side of this raised courtyard has a mosque, and opposite to the mosque there is a pavilion. In this elevated plaza in the center there is a mound of rubble. That is the sign of existence of a graveyard in the past. Now I have come inside Bada Gambaz. I saw a lone person performing prayer. Bada Gumbaj was built somewhere in 1494 as evident from inside inscription. Inside of Gumbaj there is no sign of any burial, so it could be a gateway to some bigger tomb which exists no more. The monuments here are the living example of the glorious past of this today's modern megapolis. While you enjoy the scenic beauty of the flora and fauna of this historic garden, I like to give you some glimpse of the past history of Delhi and its rulers. Tomar dynasty ruled here during 8th to 12th century. In absence of male heir, Prithviraj Chauhan, the son-in-law of Anangopal Tomar, was ruling Delhi. In the year 1192, Prithviraj was defeated by Muhammad Ghori and the beginning of Sultanate period started in Delhi. For next over more than 300 years, Delhi ruled by 5 dynasties. Those are the Slave dynasty, Khilji dynasty, Tughlaq, followed by Sayyid, and then the last ruler of Sultanate period is the Lodhi dynasty. In first battle of Panipat in the year 1526, Ibrahim Lodhi was defeated by Babur and the beginning of Mughal rule started in India. I want to share an interesting fact with you. The ruler of Sultanate period were Afghan Muslims and they believe in Caliphate, a supreme ruler of Muslim community in Iran. Caliph award the title Sultan generally to a big territorial leader who controls areas far-flung from where Caliph sits. However, the Mughal kings prefers to call them Badshah as they do not want to be a part of Muslim Caliphate. For them, only worshipper was Allah. Bad means after Allah. He is the Shah, means king. That is how the Badshah term has coined. On the southeast corner of the park, near the main gate, there is a bonsai garden. There are many beautiful small bonsai trees, but only thing I find that the names of the trees and how old they are not mentioned. When you enter through gate number 9, you will first see the nursery of Lodhi garden. In all 3 sides of Muhammad Shah's tomb, there are lined up palm trees. Now I am in front of Muhammad Shah's tomb. It is the oldest tomb in Delhi, built in second quarter of 15th century. This one is the lone octagonal tomb in Delhi. Muhammad Shah was the last but one ruler of Sayyid dynasty who ruled Delhi Sultanate from 1414 to 1451. Sayyid dynasty followed by Lodhi dynasty who ruled Delhi Sultanate from 1451 to 1526. The triangular shaped beams over the octagonally placed columns give the roof more of a round shape over which the semicircular dome is erected. You can also notice the chhatris over the roof. I came across a big simul tree which shaded its leaves as usual occurrence in this season, and the red simul flowers scattered in the ground. In front of me is Sikandar Lodhi's tomb. Behind me is the entrance gate of Sikandar Lodhi's tomb. Please come with me. Let us go inside and explore. The external architecture of Sikandar Lodhi's mausoleum is similar to Muhammad Shah's tomb, but the noticeable difference being the missing chhatris in the roof. Sikandar Lodhi took his capital out of Delhi to Agra, but it is interesting that Sikandar Lodhi chose to be buried in Delhi rather than Agra. It shows that Delhi was still regarded as an important place dynastically. Sikandar Lodhi was a good administrator and delegated power well to his fellow Afghans. He and his nobles built a great many mosques. I found some stone carvings still intact. Sikandar Lodhi's burial inside. This appears to be the remains of a gated complex for the nearby mosque. The dome of this old structure, with its peak, reminds me of a storybook of Khushbant Singh named Sunset Club, in which his comparison of dome with some feminine charm amply justified his penchant for writing about fairer sex. Lodhi Garden is also a sought after place for pre wedding photo shoots. The evening lighting, the unusual morning rain during the spring season gave me a golden chance to capture beauties and moments of this charming garden. Thank you all for watching the video. Please press like button if you enjoy my shoot.